Almost everything is prepared for the trek to the north, to that obscure hidden wilderness up north that I discovered 4 years ago. A place of peace and tranquility. An underrated gem in the mountainous west. Alright, the trek to the north has begun. Just driving through the Rockies. And looks like it'll be a clear day and a smooth trek. Made it to northern Colorado. Finally beat that freaking traffic in the Denver area. So I'll be saying bye to the big mountains for a while. The last glimpses of the Rockies before entering the barren lands of Wyoming. Man, this zoom on this camera is freaking crazy. I'm actually really far out here. But yeah, that zoom is amazing. So long, Rockies. Bye-bye, Colorado. At least for a little while. Check out the buffalo. The buffalo on the hill. A sign that we are in the barren lands of Wyoming. 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 Wyoming, Wyoming. It's much different. All of a sudden, everything turns silent, and there's nothing but grassland and farmland. No more cars. No more people. This place is boring, though, if you're not a farmer. Behold the silent, barren lands of Wyoming. Of eastern Wyoming. Not much out here. I feel much calmer out here than I do in Colorado. Of course, when I go out into the mountains in Colorado, I feel a sense of calm, but it's not the same sense of calm that I feel out here. Out here, it's not the calm from the mountains and trees and forests. No, here it's just a calmness resulting from dead silence and nothingness. The calmness of nothingness. Just empty land with cows and buffalo and bison hanging about. So I finally made it to Rapid City. Place does have a cool downtown. We can see downtown Rapid City. A water park. They've got chocolate here. Rocky Mountain chocolate. There's a lot of statues in this downtown. The fire station is one of the most unique buildings in town. Good morning, sir. How are you doing? He doesn't talk much, but he sure knows how to write. And I'm back in the Black Hills. That should be a song. I'll make a song called that. Back in the Black Hills. It'll sound like AC/DC's Back in Black. But yes, I'm back in the peaceful Sacred region of the north, known as the Black Hills. I'll show better views in a minute. This is just a simple hiking trail about 4 miles outside of Rapid City. Just simple rocks and trees. Rocks, trees, and trails. Many different trails out here. Actually, it's not just one trail. So it's easy to get lost out here. I've gotten lost already. But that's a good thing out here. It's not like getting lost in Appalachia where you get kidnapped by the aliens and shit. No, out here you just get lost and you want to stay lost. I mean, I do. I'm gonna see if I could find more bunnies. I saw one earlier. Where did the bunny go? He probably got lost too. He went down the rabbit hole. He went down his rabbit hole. There's just tall pines for miles and miles. Now I am traversing the pointy lands of Custer, the edge of needle country. This trail really reminds me of the ones back home. Yeah, it's a lot like the trails close to my house. It's very, very similar. There are more views of the pointy mountains around here. I'll see if I can find more views of those needly mountains. Very needly. I'm approaching something huge. One thing I really like about hiking up here in the Black Hills is that the elevation is much lower than it is in Colorado, which means that I can breathe. I can actually breathe much more easily than in Colorado. Because in Colorado, especially my part of Colorado, the elevation is very high, which means the air is much thinner, which means it takes more effort to breathe. It's harder to breathe. I mean, up there, I go hiking for an hour, and that's it. I get out of breath just walking in the mountains up there. Whereas out here, I'm not out of breath. I mean, I've been hiking for 2 hours. I'm not out of breath at all. That's the good thing. Elevation is much lower in the Black Hills. This is a better place to hike. I can hike for much longer out here and not go out of breath and not feel tired because there's plenty of air. The air is thick, just like the forests and just like a bunch of other things in life that are worth beholding. Breathing is very important. It's very important to breathe. And in Colorado, that's kind of a hard thing to do. Breathing? Why would you need to breathe up there? Why do you need breathing for? Not down here in South Dakota. It's much better. It's much better to hike up here. I love hiking here more than in Colorado. So long story short, it's just easier to breathe in that good ass prana out here. Good ass prana. We all need it. We all need good ass prana. And out here, there's a lot of good ass prana. There's more of it here than there is in Colorado. I mean, look at it. Look at that. That's good ass prana at work right there. And shout out to Ralph Smart, because he's the good ass prana master. Good ass prana. And the good ass Black Hills. Hey, look, it's George Washington. Amazing, man. I'm in the needles. I'm in the needle stack. The needles just stick out of the sides of the road. Alright, I'm reaching the top of one of the needles. I'm getting high up here. It's high here. Higher. This is very high. Man, the road is down there. Look at the fucking deer! You know, those bitches. The silhouettes of them, because that motherfucking sun is really in the way. But they look glorious. Here, I get a better angle. Behold the needles. Blessed needles of the Black Hills. Pointy needles of the freaking Black Hills. I swear there isn't a better place to make some black metal riffs. Some crazy black metal riffs. There's not a better place to experience some silence and peace than out here in the late afternoon. It's peaceful out here. You hear that? Do you hear that? That's the sound of peace. That's the sound of silence. It's quiet out here in the late afternoon. That's actually a good thing about coming out here in the late afternoon is there are not many people out here, so there are not many cars, so there's not as much noise. I prefer this place in the late afternoon, actually. It's very silent. Just a breeze and freaking squirrels chirping wherever they are. It's very silent. Very silent. Peace. Calm. And tranquility. That's what I love the most about the Black Hills. It's a very peaceful place. Of course, in Colorado, it's a very peaceful place in some parts. If you're very, very far away from Denver and that cesspool of the state. But in Colorado, if you're far away from Denver, it is a very peaceful place too. But it is not the same kind of peace that I experience out here. Out here, there's a different kind of peace, different kind of tranquility. Perhaps it's the fact that there's more air, like I was saying earlier. There's more good-ass piranha out here. There are nowhere near as many tourists like there are in Colorado. Colorado is pretty much Disneyland of the Rocky Mountain area and of the Mountain West. That's the Disneyland. I live in Disneyland. But out here's backcountry. Out here's the backwoods of the Western Mountains. It's not exactly the Rocky Mountains, but in many ways it is very, very similar to the Rocky Mountains. It's the outskirts of the Rockies. The Black Hills, it's the miniature Rocky Mountains. I love this place. This place is sacred to me. Like all those Indians, all the Sioux Indians and the Dakotas and everybody who call this place sacred too. Well, it's sacred to me as well. I feel the sacredness of the mighty Black Hills. Beautiful place. This place helps slow my mind down even more than Colorado. It's the essence of nature. Nature helps to slow your mind down and to help ground you. Ground your energy. Anyway, I will just sit here in peace, in silence for the next who knows how long. Perhaps until the sun goes down. Sit with the trees and rocks and be one with nature for a little bit. Spearfish. Some houses in the hills here. Pretty cool. Spearfish has some really nice parks. It's very peaceful, quiet parks, very clean and very green. Bike trails too everywhere, which is great. I love walking around Spearfish, man. It's a really nice town. A very quiet town, surrounded by nice hills, and it's a town full of beautiful architecture throughout. It just looks amazing. Church of All Angels. Alright, that's enough of Spearfish. Let's run to the hills. Run to the hills. At the edge of Spearfish, into the canyon we go. Alright, I've arrived at my favorite hiking trail in the Spearfish Canyon, the Iron Creek Trail. A trail on the Iron Creek, surrounded by rocks along the creek. This trail is very, very similar to the trails found in the Glenwood Canyon, close to where I live in Colorado. The Spearfish Canyon is like a miniature Glenwood Canyon. They're both very, very similar. Just this one's smaller. Even when hiking through it right now, I feel like I'm hiking in the Glenwood Canyon. It has a very similar feel, very similar atmosphere to the Glenwood Canyon. I love this trail. These rocks are half the size of the rocks of the Glenwood Canyon. And then this creek is half the size of Grizzly Creek, which is the trail that runs along one of the Glenwood Canyon trails. Everything's half the size here. That's a beautiful creek. This is very clean water. The same rocks as the rocks found down south in Colorado. Down south. Crazy to think that Colorado is down south from the Black Hills. The Black Hills is a land in the north. Colorado is just Colorado. Colorado is just Colorado. It's not north, it's not south, it's just there. It's Colorado. But this place is the north. This trail is much less steep than the trails in the Glenwood Canyon though. So it's less of a leg workout, I guess. But it's less steep and low in elevation. And like I was mentioning earlier, lower elevation, more air, more good ass prana. And that's something that's important to me. Being able to breathe and be in nature. Because in Colorado, I can't breathe when I'm out in nature. It's nice to be out in nature, but it's even nicer to be out in nature and breathe in that good ass prana. It's majestic. It looks majestic out here. Look at this.